Hi, I'm Glenn Cook from Lake House Lures, and I'm here to do a little customization to my Lake House Lures jigs. They make excellent football jigs, roundhead jigs, and swim jigs. And Shane McIntosh, the owner of Lake House Lures, and myself have recently got together, and we produced a new signature series color. It's called the Cookin' Craw, hence my nickname Cooker. So I'm going to show you how I actually cookerize my jigs so they get a little extra flair and a little more action when I'm dragging them along the bottom or swimming them with the swimming style head. Now what I have here is none of my Cookin' Craw colors, because I've got them all in the boat already cookerized. But I do have the Old Faithful half-ounce football head and the Midnight Craw 3/4 ounce. So what I'm going to do is actually show you a couple of cool things about Lake House Lures jigs that caught my eye instantly. And the first thing is, if you look close, that is not a rubber band on that jig skirt. That is a stainless steel wire wrap. I don't know how many times that I've had one bit off by a pike, or maybe down in your neck of the woods they call them pickerel, and or snag one or something, have it break off, and go back into my rod locker or something and pick out another one, and when I pick that jig up, it all just falls apart. Well, what happens is over time that rubber band on all the other manufacturers' jigs are going to deteriorate and just disintegrate and fall off, and then all you got left is just a handful of skirt, which is now no good to you, and all you got left is a hook with a jig head on it. Not cool. So this is one of the neatest selling points of the Lake House Lures jigs, is that stainless steel wrap on there. Another neat thing about this is if you can see by looking real close here, there's a little hook on that, on the hook itself, that will put your jig trailer on there and hold it right next, tight up to the head. And the stand-up style of these jigs, as you can see, will keep that jig standing straight up right along the bottom with the football head style, okay? And that keeps that craw trailer that you put on up in a fighting position. And again, you can see how those legs are just moving, and with that current in the water, it's a fighting position, and that's what the craws do as they're moving away from a bass, and that's going to alert that bass that, hey, there's something there to eat, and he's going to chomp on that Lake House Lures jig, and you're going to have a bite at the other end. Another thing that I find with Lake House Lures jigs is the flexibility of the weed guard. It's not the stiff type of weed guards that you get with most manufacturers. Normally I will take half of that, clip it right down to about 1/8 of an inch towards the end of the head, and get it out of the way. Just cut it right out. And then you want to pull it back both left and right to let it get some flexibility to it. But with Shane McIntosh's Lake House Lures jigs, this is a very pliable jig guard, and there's no need to cut it away. And the hookup ratio is 100%, just leaving that just the way it is, and it gives you extra long protection against weeds and rocks and limbs and things such as that. So what I do is I'm going to take the skirt and take the front piece of that skirt off of that stainless steel collar, and I'm going to come down to about 1 inch of the end, okay? And what I do is I cut it at an angle away from myself. It's a V cut, but at the top it's a pointed deal. Now, if you can see how this jig here is not cut, and what it looks like. Sure, you got a little play in the skirt, but now by doing the top part, there's a lot more bouncing action. Now, after cutting the front, then I'm going to go to the business end of this jig where the hook is. I'm going to take that portion of the skirt, and again I'm going to cut it in a V, but it's going to be closer to the hook itself. I don't want all that hanging back of the hook, because they'll pick up the trailer and the remaining part of that skirt and just tug it around like that. So there's the cookerized head, and a lot more bouncy action from that skirt, and you're going to get that from current and wave action, that what you're going to get from just working it out of the box. Okay, you can see the difference right there. All right, so again, it's a cut from the top. Get that top a little bit shorter, back to the hook. Okay, again, that gets it closer to the actual hook point. Now, you're going to take on like the half ounce, 3/4 ounce, you got a nice 3 or 4/0 hook on the back of that. And to add your trailer, what I want to do is look for you on your craw, the side with the eyes. Keep that up, so it's going to go on there. Again, you're looking to put that baby right on there. So what I'm going to do is actually take and cut straight off about 1/4 inch of that. Okay, then I'm going to thread that onto the hook, put it perfectly dead center of that craw, and thread it right on, and then come right out between the eyes of that craw. Hit them right between the eyes. That's going to put it right back, and then go over the hook keeper, and there you go. It's perfectly made. It's been cookerized, and now you have a jig that's going to have a lot of play in it. With this particular craw, it's got a little bit of yellow on there for attraction. It's not too far back. They're going to grab that, they're going to eat that, and it is going to be supper for a big old bass. And again, the design of this head will keep it nice and flat on the bottom. Keep that baby right up. So again, those flappers flare. It keeps that in a defensive position. That's what happens when those craws are moving away from a bass, and then they'll sit there and they'll flare in the body, and then all of a sudden they'll pick that up, boom, and you got yourself a fish coming to the boat. And if you do that to your jigs, you're going to get more bites, you're going to get more fish into the boat. And again, order yours today from Shane McIntosh at Lake House Lures. That's www.lakehouselures.com. Look him up on his Facebook page. If you don't like the colors that are in stock, well, get a hold of Shane and give him your idea. He'll do a prototype for you, he'll take a picture of it, and he'll send it to you for your approval. If it's not quite the way you like it, he'll keep doing it until it is. And he's very quick turnaround, and order more than one, okay? A lot of guys, oh, well, I'll order one, I'll order two, I'll order three. Have plenty in your boat. When I order, it's nothing less than at least 5 to 10 lures of the same color, same style. So I've got plenty in case there's a bite happening, that it's a particular color, a particular style that's happening. I've got plenty in the boat, and I don't have to worry about running out and trying to match what I've been catching them on, okay? So again, get with Shane McIntosh, Lake House Lures. Check him out on Facebook, Lake House Lures, or go to the webpage, www.lakehouselures.com. I'm Cooker. Have a great season and catch the biggest fish in the lake with Lake House Lures jigs.